Hey, welcome to Rust Rival Garage. My name is Tim. I'm going to do something a little bit different on this video. I've got a Jeep TJ. It's a 2000, and just recently, in fact, my last video, I had to replace my rusty brake lines. While I was down there, it's a disaster. And before I put this thing all back together and drive it around again, I need to take care of the frame. The frame is covered in rust. Everything down there is covered in rust. And if you own a Jeep, you know that's only going to get worse. So what I figured I would do is clean the rust off and seal it back up and kind of show you how to do it in case you need to do it. If you've got a Jeep and you live in the Midwest or the North, anywhere like that, you know rust is a problem on these things. So let's get to it. To do it, here are the things that I'm going to use. You always want to start with wire wheeling. I picked up a couple boxes of these because I'm always using them. But you use a drill, wire wheel, you can spin off a lot of that rust really quick. It's a lot better than trying to sand it. The other thing that I like to use is POR-15's degreaser and their metal prep. So after I've got everything sanded off, I will degrease it, clean that off, and then I will put on the metal prep. This is sort of a metal etch that neutralizes the rust that's there and coats it and actually turns a lot of the rust to a white shade. I'll actually show you a little farther in. And then what I'm going to do, instead of spraying it, spray painting it would be so much quicker. But this is a Rust-Oleum sort of protective enamel stop rust. And I use just a super cheap brush that I throw away when I'm done, and I just spray this, or I wipe it on with the paintbrush. It's a lot cheaper than just going through 5, 6, 7 cans of spray paint. It's faster, but it's not as cheap. Plus, you know, this is not that hard to do. A little while in the video, my trans crossover on my Jeep had completely rusted away. The frame holes had completely just rusted. So I took care of that section. Here, let me show you. So I had to put in this whole section to repair the damage. And so this just sort of fit up over the frame, and I was able to put my trans crossover back in. But as you can see, if I don't do this in the back, it's only going to get worse, and it's going to rust out, and I'm going to have the same problem that I did here, and I do not want that. If you look back here, look how bad this is starting to get. It's just terrible. So what I want to do is clean this up and paint it, and make sure I get the underneath as well. Because you can just see the rust is going to get everywhere. So this is going to be a messy job, but I'm going to try to get as much of this taken care of and cleaned up as I can so that I don't lose my frame rails. It's also very important, if you're going to do anything like this, use safety glasses. I've got my older glasses, which are a really wide pair of glasses that cover a lot. They're not great, but they're better than nothing. But get you some safety glasses, because you're going to be using this to have a lot of chunks of rust and metal flying. And I've gotten it in my eye before, and it's not fun. I really don't like the idea of using metal to sand around my gas tank, but I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. Now the goal really isn't to try to get it as pretty as you can. What you're trying to do is just get the rust off. I mean, you can try to really get it sanded down well to remove a lot of it, but our goal is to not let it get any worse. I got it in my mouth. Rust tastes terrible. Okay, so I've gotten, you don't have to like get it totally perfect, but I've gotten all the, you want to get all the little chunks off. I've got all the little pieces of debris. There's some things I haven't gotten into here yet, but as you can see, it's still rust colored, but it's also down to some shiny metal. I've actually been polishing it a bit. So again, you don't need to kill it, you just need to get off all of the little bits and pieces. Guess I forgot to mention you're also going to need a vacuum cleaner because it gets messy. Look at that. Just metal just turning into dust. The rust is a cancer. I mean, you just got to get it out as often as you can, as much as you can. Alright, I got the driver's side off. It's actually a bit worse over here. Yes, I know my bump stop is bad, and I want to kind of redo the whole suspension and put it up a couple inches, but that's $1,000. So for now, I just want to protect my frame. So if you're not sure about your frame, this actually I think had some kind of undercoating on it, and the undercoating is popping off. So if you think, hey, my frame looks really good, it's still nice and black, it could be that it's rusting underneath that. I mean, you can just see it's just coming off in chunks. So don't assume because you don't see any rust that there isn't any. Like, that frame is full of rust. You can see it. There's a big chunk sitting right there. That means that your frame is rotting from the inside out. The wire wheel can't get into everything, so sometimes you gotta help it along. Alright, still rust colored-ish, and I was even starting to get down to the metal, but most of the big chunks are gone, and now we want to degrease it. So I've done underneath the gas tank cover, underneath part of the bumper and tow hook. I've done the bottoms of these up into the tops and the sides of the frame, and hopefully that should help give us some extra time. Now we're going to do the degreaser. I know you think after sanding all this down that it doesn't really need the degreaser, but there's just years of caked on oil and grease and grime, and it's just really important if you really want to make sure that the Rust-Oleum paint sticks to the degreaser. It's just a little bit of extra work. You spray it down, you wipe it off. I usually let it set for a few minutes, then I wipe it off, and then we'll do the metal prep. Despite how much this has been eaten away, I'm still going to clean it. I'm still going to paint it, or metal prep it and then paint it, because it is protecting the gas tank. As you can see, a lot of the rust dust is still there, and you've also got a lot of grease in there. You can just feel it, it's greasy. So yeah, don't skip the degreaser if you can help it. Next up is the Pour 15 metal prep. This is an etching liquid that will neutralize the rust and change it away from being rust. You want to spray this on, you want to let it set for 30 minutes. If it gets dry, you want to go back and spray it again. So basically you just want to make sure that your surface stays wet for 30 minutes. So I'm going to spray this on now. Let it soak in, then we'll come back and then we'll have to clean it off. You don't want to leave it on there because this is basically almost like an acid, I think, and you don't want to leave it on. So you want to let it set for a while, do its thing, and then we'll clean it off. Now, as you can see, there's still a little bit of the rust coloration there. It's still drying from the degreaser, but I'm going to go ahead and spray this on now. We'll see what it looks like when it's done. Wash your hands after you use this stuff too. Make sure you get the underneath parts too. Okay, I'm going to do the rest of the back end of the Jeep. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. Hasn't quite converted a lot of that rust yet. I'm going to spray it again, give it another 20 minutes or so. All right, so it's had a chance to dry. You can see the white. That's where it is turning the rust into not rust. But I'm gonna go ahead and paint it. I've got the matte down because I do not want to paint the driveway and have my wife be mad at me. And wearing a glove because I'm going to be painting basically upside down. It's going to start running everywhere. But time to stir this up. And start painting. Now I know a lot of this is going to start rusting again. It just has to. But again, what I'm thinking is I'm slowing it down. I'm not going to make it any easier for it to rot away. But I will go ahead and paint this up and show you what it looks like. Again, we're not trying to make it pretty. Don't care if there are brush strokes. Just a quick brake rebuild. So yeah, it looks better and a lot of that rust is gone. It might start poking through in some areas. It's really just hard to completely stop rust. But again, like I said, it's a good way to prevent things from getting much worse. I know with Jeeps, they've got holes in the bottom of the frames. And as you saw, there's still a bunch of rust in there. I'm going to need to try to break that up, just crush it up and then try to vacuum it out. Eastwood makes a spray can that I can spray inside of there to help coat it and prevent that from getting any worse. But those are weak spots. They can rust right there. It can rust along here. I've seen them rust back here. The whole back end of the frame can drop off if you don't maintain and take care of these Jeep frames. Okay, figured I'd share a real quick look of everything all dry, all nice and cleaned up. So yeah, not too hard. I would suggest doing something like this if you've got an older Jeep. Again, not to make it look perfect and not to make it last forever, but to slow it down a little bit. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you could, please give me a like if you got anything out of it. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions or suggestions. And thanks again very much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.